Office of the President of the Philippines, Malacañang, Memorandum Order Number 03, providing guidelines for the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police in the implementation of measures to suppress and prevent lawless violence. Whereas on 4 September 2016, President Rodrigo Duterte promulgated Proclamation No. 55 declaring a state of national emergency on account of lawless violence in Mindanao and calling out the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police to undertake all necessary measures to suppress and all forms of lawless violence in Mindanao and prevent the spread and escalation thereof elsewhere in the country. Whereas there is a need for an effective and expeditious implementation of the President's directive in order to prevent further loss of innocent lives and destruction of property and bring the whole country back to a state of complete normalcy as quickly as possible. Whereas to ensure respect for and protection of the fundamental civil and political rights of our citizens, there is also a need to define and delimit the measures that the AFP and the PNP can undertake during the state of lawless violence. Whereas Section 27, Chapter 9, Title 3, Book 3 of Executive Order Number 292, otherwise known as the Administrative Code of 1987, empowers the Executive Secretary to implement presidential directives, orders, and decisions. Now, therefore, I, Salvador Medialdea, by the authority and order of the President, do hereby promulgate the following directives to be observed during the subsistence of a state of lawless violence. Section 1. The National Defense and the Department of Interior and Local Government shall coordinate the immediate deployment of additional forces of the AFP and PNP to suppress lawless violence and acts of terror in Mindanao and prevent such violence from spreading and escalating elsewhere in the country. To the extent possible, the DND and the DILG shall deploy AFP and PNP personnel on major streets and thoroughfares as well as near crowded places such as malls and train stations in order to increase troop and military visibility for deterrence and quick response purposes without causing undue alarm to the general public. Or appropriated for this purpose. Section 3, the Department of Justice shall closely coordinate for the prompt investigation and prosecution of all individuals or groups apprehended for committing or conspiring to commit acts of lawless violence. Section 4, all local government units are ensure the effective implementation of this memorandum order. Section 5, at all times, the constitutional rights of every unless the situation of the following circumstances, among others, when the person to be arrested has committed number 2, when an committed and the arresting officer has personal knowledge of facts indicating that the person to be arrested has committed the offense. Who has escaped from a penal establishment or place where he is serving final judgment or temporarily confined while he's 4, when the person arrested or to be arrested has voluntarily waived when the person to be searched has consented to the search or has voluntarily waived his right against warrantless searches and seizures within a permissible area of search. Immigration and Customs laws. 4. Search of automobiles at borders or constructive borders for violation of immigration or smuggling. 6. Stop and free circumstances. In the case of police or military checkpoints, inspection shall be limited to a request to roll down vehicle windows, search for things in plain view only, and production of identification and vehicle registration papers. No further intrusive action shall be taken, such as demanding the opening of trunks or lids or asking persons on board to step out, unless the subject individual consents or agree thereto. In stop and frisk situations, search shall be limited to light patting of the subject individual to detect the possession of weapons or similar effects. Section 6. Any AFP and PNP personnel found violating any of the foregoing constitutional rights shall be held administratively, civilly, criminally liable therefor. Section 7, and the last, this memorandum order shall take effect immediately. 5 September 2016, by order of the President, signed Salvador C.